10 years ago I did 2 Jaeger-LeCoultre reversos, and now that I'm actually engraving watches, I really regret the fact that I never documented any of them watches, because I didn't really see the possibilities of watch engraving at that time. I just looked at it as in, you know, I'm an engraver, yeah, I'll engrave your watches, you know. So when I approached Purdy's, it wasn't actually on purpose. I kind of fell into it. So I was studying A-level art and English at college, and I was going to go on to St Martin's and do something fashion related. But I then came across a catalogue in my uncle's house, which was a Purdy catalogue, and it had the gun engraving in it, and I'd never seen anything like that before. And immediately, because that was my main thing, I was quite good at art, you know, I thought, oh, that would be quite interesting to find out about going to work for someone like that. Since then, I was the only engraver employed and trained at Purdy's in the last 15 years. When I started the apprenticeship, obviously I'd seen the catalogue, I'd seen all these amazing scroll work and game scenes and animals, and I just thought, yeah, I'm good at drawing that, you know, I'll be absolutely fine. But as soon as I started, I was straight on cutting lines, cutting circles, and that's the way it went for months until I was allowed to start on an actual piece of gun work. Then I actually got to do the, you know, the proper patterns. I don't know if I speak for other engravers, but I hate doing barrels. They're long, they're awkward, they're just really hard to maneuver. I love doing the actual body of the gun. I love doing all the extra parts, the pins, the screws that keep everything together. With the firearms and stuff, it's very different because you're working on a traditional product. The company I work for is over 200 years old. You have people that shoot, they want a certain, you know, kind of game scene that might involve, you know, pheasants flying or a person shooting in a field. You're in just that kind of category of certain things you can do, and you can do it many different ways. With the watches, it's not for just one market. Anyone can have anything on a watch. I think with guns, obviously, is you can't walk down the street with a gun and show it off, whereas a watch is a natural kind of piece of jewellery that you wear. You can wear that watch and you can wear it anywhere in the world. Someone can see it, you know, from a distance and you know, be intrigued to see what's going on that watch. And that's where it's quite cool that you can be at dinner, you can be out for the day with family, you could be anywhere with a watch on, and you could put your own stamp on it, and you know, that's part of your personality, it's part of the watch. You know, and it means a little bit more, and that's where the artistic freedom comes in, you know, because you can put something on there that someone actually wants. So to give you an example of my process from start to finish, I can use the URWERK as an example. I would draw the case first. So after that, I know where my canvas is. I would then research various dragons, Japanese history, you know, I'd maybe go online, various other books I have, and then from there I would try and find something that works on the case as far as positioning goes. So very similar to a tattoo on your arm, it has to face the right way. It can't be in an awkward position, you know, because it doesn't look right when someone else is looking at it. And then I might cut, you know, chop certain pieces in that I like, you know, maybe the flames or the eyes. I would mix them all together almost like a collage, and then I would do my sketch from there. Me and Wayne went back 4, 5, 6 times, you know, on just getting where the dragon might be facing. From there, we would add in all our little details, and we kept going back and forth until we found something that we both really liked. We never went ahead with anything until we both were 100% on, you know, if it was going to look great on the case. I've always had a passion for watches. I've always looked through magazines since I was little. I've loved watches all my life. I haven't always been able to afford them, but with things like Instagram, I was always following all the big watch brands. There was a couple that were following me, maybe because what I did they liked, and what they did I liked, and there was just some natural connections there with people like Bamford Watch Department and Lynn Verdlin, Jean and Morton from Lynn Verdlin. And from there we just sort of naturally connected, and we ended up doing projects together. And from there I had, as they say, like more followers, you know, and then I met other people in the watch world who seemed to like my work, and that's kind of how I met Way. And that came about maybe because I did a personal Omega Snoopy Schumacher watch for myself, which he really liked. We had a conversation and everything just sort of was very natural. He wanted to work with me, I wanted to work with him. It seemed perfect to do it that way. The URWERK project has been amazing simply because what Martin and Felix create with their watches for me are, you know, they're futuristic, they're cool, they're just really out there watches, and I've always been a fan of them. When the idea of doing the Revolution and the URWERK collaboration, I was just like over the moon with it. I really was up for doing it. I'm Johnny and I'm a master engraver for Revolution.